Ooh, good evening, good evening, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you're seeing this. Yeah, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, all that good stuff. How y'all doing on this good Monday evening? Dang, this straw is not doing what I need to do. There we go. I hope everyone is doing good on this good Monday. Even though it's a messy Monday, not too messy, but messy nonetheless. If you're here, as people come in, let me know that you're here, please. Like I say, please, like I always say, please comment, like, share the video, tag your people. If they like topics like this when it comes to pop culture, when it comes to reality TV, when it comes to anything going on in the world, you know, it don't necessarily have to be pop culture and messy topics. I could talk about anything, but it just so happened that messy stuff be going on in the world, and that's what we talk about. So y'all let me know. Y'all let me know y'all here, and let me know where you're watching. Well, I know. Let me know where you're here, that you're here, and let me know who you are. All that good stuff. Like I say, please like, comment, share the video with your friends, leave it a like. Does not only support me, but it also supports other content creators and people that are talking about similar things that I'm talking about as well. So, like I say, like, comment, share, do all the things that needs to be done. Okay? So, now that we got that out the way, what is we talking about today? We talking about, let's get into B2K and Pretty Ricky. Like, I did not expect that to be a thing. Well, I mean, I know why. I know why it's a thing now, because Lil Light Skin always running his mouth, like always, but Lil Fizz, he did an interview with Cam Newton, and he basically was talking about all the things, when it comes to his life and career. The tour they just came off of, that tour went by really fast, actually. Like, I didn't even have a chance to even think about if I wanted to go, because it just went by so fast. But so he did this interview with Cam Newton, and Cam was basically asking him, let me get to it. Hold on. Phil basically saying that, like, he feel like R&B is not what it used to be when it comes to the groups. He said that he feel like that it's been a change. When it comes to R&B, it's not the same as it used to be when they first came out. And he said that they had a blend of hip hop and R&B music, and it was a good blend, but it had been a good blend since then. So I guess that, like, Cam Newton per se, he continued to ask some questions about similar groups and stuff, and Cam asked him about Pretty Ricky. And Lil Phil was like, Pretty Ricky came after B2K. and he said that that basically that that we can't put Pretty Ricky on the same level as B2K. He said that they didn't dance like them, and they are from Florida. They got heat, but not like them. He also said that they from two different sides of the world. They came from B2K came from Cali, and they came from Florida. It's just different. So basically, Newton went on to say like pound for pound, like they ain't mess with y'all. He was like, nah. So then, members of Pretty Ricky started to respond. Like Pleasure P wrote, he been smoking on too much of that loud pack. And Bow Wow replied, yo, versus TV, get the deal done. And that's what I'm saying. When you doing all this talking online, let's do the verses. Do the verses and let the people say who was for. Let the people choose. Let the people decide. Cause that's basically what it is. Music is a competition. Everything is a competition. So let the people decide. Let's do this verses. Like y'all already been on tour, and usually it'll be the other way around. Like they'll do the verses first. It could go either way in this time frame. But let's do the verses. Bump out the Instagram back and forth, and who's on whose level and who's on that level. Let's do the verses. I think it'd be good for us millennials to have that B2K and Pretty Ricky verses. I can't say the only thing that I can see Fizz saying that them not being on that level is because like B2K give like full on choreography. Like they give dance moves, they give all that, and I don't like see like Pretty Ricky much doing that per se, but as far as like the hits and the songs, like Pretty Ricky got the songs. If you know, you know. So, and they had very much success in their, career when they first came out. Like, me and my friends will bump. I'm gonna be honest. Me and my friends will bump for Pretty Ricky today and sing it all night long. But B2K, if you want a little dance move, if you want a little dance song, you can put on and groove to or whatever. But if you want some hits, you can ride to Pretty Ricky. Pretty Ricky got them hits now. Let's do this versus battle and let's see what it's for. That's the only way you're gonna be able to really what I'm saying? Cause let's say the versus battle up. We gonna say Pretty Ricky and B2K versus battle coming. Let's set it up, and we go and then we gonna just let the people decide. We the people will decide. How about that? Amen. Amen. Now, let's talk about Breezy. Breezy got this new album called Brown, and the people are talking about it. Like, the people are talking about it. It's been some critics around this album. A lot of people feel as though Chris Brown is not growing in his music. They feel like some of his sounds are not really growing or still the same. I don't know what the people want from Chris Brown or whatever, but they feel like that his music is not really progressing or things like that. Now, I listened to the album today on a ride that I had back and forth somewhere, and I started listening to it over the weekend, and then I stopped, and then I started back. And I'm gonna say this. Chris Brown did say in this article that the Jasmine brand typed up that he said on his Instagram story he was basically thanking his fans for listening to the project while also acknowledging the criticism and misreviews surrounding it. In his message, Chris made it clear that while not everyone may love the album right away, he believes his music tends to connect with listeners over time. And with that, I do have to agree. I do have to agree with that, what Chris said, because if there are some songs that I would go back and listen to from Chris Brown, and I'd be like, wait a minute, this song hit. But you know, you don't realize it hit until it been like passed on. And this one album of Chris, I think it's the Royalty album. The Royalty album got a lot of good songs on that album. And it's like a album that I didn't like really get into until like it had been out for a while. But that's what he mean. Like his album, when it first come out, you may not really connect with it when it first come out, but then after a while, you listen to it and you might let it be out for a little bit, or it might, you know, play it over and over again, and then you be like, okay, I fool with this. You know, I can get with this over a period of time. So, and that's what it is about music. You have to allow music to grow on you sometimes, because the world that we live in, everybody just want everything for them right now, right away. And honestly, it don't work like that all the time. It really don't. So, I like the overall tone of the album. I really feel like that he is like, he's kind of, I mean, the man just turned 37, so he's kind of like, you know, growing up, like as far as he's growing up, like he's in his whole career and his whole art of him being a music artist. So like the sound is gonna be different. So like you're not gonna get these hoes ain't loyal in this Brown album. Like you're not gonna get music like that. You're gonna get music that you're getting on this Brown album. And honestly, that's fine with me. I don't mind people like growing in their art, in their music, because like people have to grow. People have to develop, and people have to find themselves and how they produce and throw out content. I mean, like, you know, especially when it comes to music. I can imagine being a music artist, because especially like putting out albums and being expected to top your next album and your next album and your next album. Like, I just could imagine there's so much pressure, because it's just so much that comes into being an artist. Like, just imagine if you were just imagine you being a Chris Brown or an Usher or a Beyonce. Hey, sister. Just imagine you being a Chris Brown, a Beyonce, or a Usher, and you got all these great albums, but then you still expected to top your last album. Like that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure. So, and then even with us in our record lives, we always feel like we have to top everything that we doing that we done did. So, I don't know. I just feel like Chris Brown has always put out good music. He always have, you know, produced good music. So I just feel like with this album, it may be a slow listen to some, but I really like the album. I'm going to continue to listen to it. I really like a lot of songs on the album. Some of the songs are, you know, kind of like slow, you know, when it comes to a listen. But like I said, some of the songs, you may not connect to it right then, because, I mean, the album just damn came out last week. So you may not connect to it right then. But, like, as you play it over and over again, you may connect to it next month or a month, 2 months from now. You know, you never know. But Chris also said that, you know, this isn't the first time that he's received a lot of, you know, divided responses about, you know, his albums. But he's confident that, you know, it'll grow on people over time. And he said that his last 3 albums has got a lot of criticism when they first came out. So I like the album. I love this new era that Chris is going in. These people, y'all, who are these people that's criticizing? Y'all need to stop being so hard on these artists. They are human people. They are human beings. Even though y'all look at them as artists and these people that are in this whole other world, they are human beings. So they can't produce everything perfect to your liking all the time. So shut up. Just enjoy the music. And if you don't enjoy it, don't listen. Y'all still gonna buy them tickets that go to that concert, ain't y'all? Thank you. Next story. Oh, we talk about Nick. Oh, Latto. Latto, don't piss me off, girl. Latto. 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 Latto, you finna piss me off. Cause Latto, how you talking about that this album that you finna release this month, May 27th, I think, May 29th, whenever it is. This finna be your retirement album. Latto, you really just did that for attention. Cause you ain't even got enough albums to say you finna retire, Miss Ma'am. Latto, don't piss me off. Why you do that, Latto? Latto, don't do it like you really just Latto, you really just getting at the, like, building a good fan base. Your last album, it did good. I loved your last album, Latto. You know, it wasn't no Cardi, Megan album or Nicki, but it was a good album because you give what you gonna give. You don't give what nobody else give, and I love that for you. But Latto, for you to say that this next album finna be your retirement album, girl, please. Yeah, she already don't piss me off. Girl, please. She already don't piss me off. But according to Complex, ahead of her arrival of her fourth album, Latto. Wow, 4 albums, and you finna retire? 21 don't put it down on you like that you want to retire after 4 albums? Girl, please. She talked about that she's ready to retire from music. The 27-year-old rapper, who is currently expecting her first child with 21 Savage, shared a tweet on Friday, May 8th, to announce that Big Mama, which drops on May 29th, could be her last project. Could be. Okay, so it ain't confirmed. Latto, you pissing me off. Which comes out on 5/29. She said, this is my retirement album. Thank you for everything. Latto, you just doing this for attention so people will get this album. And if you're doing that, it's gonna work. Well, it may or it may not work. Cause I mean, we gonna listen. Yeah, we gonna listen. We gonna bop. You know, we gonna bop it. We gonna play it. But you ain't gotta do that for no. You ain't gotta do that for no attention, Latto, because you already had the attention of the whole 21 Savage, you know, of it all and all that. So you ain't gotta do that for no attention. You had to go even further to say this is gonna be your retirement album to get a little more attention. Okay, girl, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, girl. But it's unclear what prompted Latto's decision to call quits on her rap career, but it's not uncommon for rappers putting out time only to go back to this and lay down the line. Even Jay-Z claimed he was going to retire with his 2003 album, the Black Album, to release another album 3 years later. So Latto, you're not taking a break from music. You're just singing this just to get attention for this album. Yeah. Okay. All right, Latto. We'll be waiting on the album. But just don't, Latto, just don't piss me off. We wait on the album, Latto. Moving on. So Kevin Hart and Katt Williams squashed their beef during Kevin Hart's Netflix roast. Did I know about this beef? I think I did, but I mean, I really did, but I really forgot. But apparently, Kevin Hart and Katt Williams have had a long beef. Well, I wouldn't say long, but it has been a beef that has been going on for a while. According to Complex.com, during the Netflix roast of Kevin Hart, comedian Katt Williams showed up as a surprise guest, and the pair publicly squashed their feud. I think Kevin said, "Me and this man have been at odds for years on years," said Hart as seen in the clip from the roast below. "You come out here quite the effing surprise, but Katt, I can sit and I can watch you. I can sit and I can watch you. I can laugh because I'm an effing fan first. Okay, I'm a fan first. Katt, we have an opportunity in real time. This is live television to put our effing beef behind us." Kevin was drunk because he was cussing a lot. "I'm offering you an olive branch of peace. I want to be a brother. I want to be a friend. Katt, I want to move on. Can we move on?" After his comments, Williams approached Hart to offer him to the applause of those in attendance. Katt Williams and and we got a video. Let's take a listen.
Me and this man have been at odds for years on years. You coming out here, quite the fucking surprise. But Katt, I can sit, I can watch you, I can laugh, because I'm a fucking fan first. Okay, I'm a fan first. Katt, we have an opportunity in real time. This is live television to put our fucking beef behind us. I am offering you an olive branch of peace. I want to be a brother. I want to be a friend. Katt, I want to move on. Can we move on, man? Can we move on? Katt Williams, one time, ladies and gentlemen. Katt fucking Williams.
That's all right. That is all right. That is all right in my soul. You know, it's not coming for these comedians to be beefing. You know, back in the day, the old comedians used to really be beefing. Like the old comedians used to really be beefing back in the day, and they used to go at it they used to really go at it in real time, like on stage. So yeah, they used to go at it in real time on stage. But these just two short men these were just two short men angry about being short. And this is what it was. They probably used to get mad at each other for not getting booked at one thing, and not being booked about one thing, and they'll book one, and they'll book this one, not book this one. Yeah, that's what it was. It was the battle of the short men. Look, that's what it was. Yep. Williams and Hart have had a rock relationship since at least 2016, when Williams referred to Hart as a puppet and challenged him to a stand-up style comedy show. He later apologized for his comments, but Hart said he was frustrated with Williams in 2018 after he dissed his night school co-star Tiffany Haddish. Ugh, I can say a lot about that Tiffany Haddish. Williams tore into Hart in his infamous... Oh, he sure did. He sure did. Williams tore into Hart in his infamous Club Shay Shay interview in 2024, but he said they were able to work out the issue sometime last year. Me and Katt, there was always a little rift, a little ruffle in the water for quite some time, But picking up the phone does a lot. He said during the episode of 7 p.m. in Brooklyn with Carmelo Anthony last year, per the source. Having direct conversations and removing the middleman does a lot. As we get older, we get better at it. Now we understand we have a job to do, and the job is to be better examples. That's right. One time for Kevin Hart and Cat Williams moving on, despite them being two short men being angry. Cause really that's all it was. I'm being funny, but that's all it was. That's all it was. Moving on. Where are my Housewives people at? If you know a Housewives fan, tag them in the live, cause this is where we talk about Housewives and all the messy stuff going on with these women. Housewives people, come to the chat. The girls are still in Dallas. Dallas part 2. The girls are still in Dallas. And I got a lot to say. So we started the episode off. First of all, how we feel about the season so far, people? Well, the people that are watching, the people that's not watching, just listen. Y'all just don't have to just hear what I'm saying if y'all not. But I feel like the season so far is Lord, it's good. It's good. It's a lot of drama. People love drama, so it's a lot of drama. They doing a lot of that. It's a lot of shade, a lot of back and forth going around. So the people love that. I do feel like the more time and time go on, I do feel like that I do see what's being done here. I do feel like that Shamia is using Kelly to fight her battles with Portia. Yeah. Shamia is using Kelly to fight her battles with Portia. And after a while, she's not going to be able to use Kelly to fight her battles with Portia anymore. So that's why it's going to come to a head like toward the end of the season. And that's when I hear that Shamia and Portia is going to almost get into a fight. Yeah. Like, cause it's clear as day, because it seemed like when I was watching that scene, the ending scene, when they was on that sprinter, like the whole time that Portia and Shamia was like going back and forth. No, rephrase that. The whole time that Portia and Kelly was going back and forth, Shamia, you was on mute. Yeah, Miss Shamisi. Miss Shamina, you was on mute. So you, as being the mutual friend, actually the best friend, well, the ex-best friend to Portia and the new best friend to Kelly, you really supposed to have really kind of not really like got it, like not really got in the middle of it, but you really supposed to like kind of try to diffuse it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because if I got two friends that's kind of like fighting or like arguing, I ain't gonna per se get in the middle of it. But if they arguing, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna do my best to try to diffuse the situation. And Shamisi, you didn't do that. So that further lets me know, Shamisi, that you are using Kelly to fight your battles with Portia. Well, you're trying to. Cause it's not gonna work too long. We only on episode 6, but it's not gonna work for too long. And the reason I say that because I'm just seeing how things are playing out right now. I just had to say that while it was on my mind before I forgot. But we started out, the girls are catching up. When the girls are getting ready, when the episode started off, Shamia is catching up with her sister, and she's still been complaining, talking about her room accommodations were not up to par. And Pinky is catching up with her husband. And Pinky said something about Angela. Said that they got a third wife in the bed in the bedroom. Third wife? Where the second one come from? Because she said y'all had a second wife. So where the third one come from? Or maybe you just misspoke and you just didn't realize what you said. Because you said third wife. And what the second wife came in there? Okay. I'm just make sure. Okay. And then Pinky already throwing jab at Angela as soon as the next day. Already calling her Bigfoot to her husband. Okay, I said, okay. See how this finna go. See how this finna go. Phaedra said in her confessionals that it seems that Pinky is the one bringing the most beef, even though she's vegan, but we need to find her some fresher plants to eat on. I said, Phaedra, please. Phaedra, please. Why would you say that? But no, for real, because Pinky, you bring a lot of beef with everybody, but you vegan? Like, you need to be doing something. And Drew shaded the mess out of Shamia when she said something about that mohawk ball that she had on. I think it was that first episode or something. I don't remember what episode it was, but Shamia had that mohawk ball, and it looked at a hot mess. That was a mess. It looked a mess. I don't know. I just feel like Shamia and Drew, they just won't get along just because they just don't get along. And then Drew, is not willing to accept an apology from Shamia because Shamia feels like she don't have to just bow down to Drew. And then, like I said, when they was at Kelly's grand opening, it really didn't help when Shamia mama came up and tried to diffuse the situation or whatever. It kind of really don't help when you got two grown people in the middle of a conflict or whatever, and then your mama come up and try to get y'all together in the moment. Cause like, I'm respect my elders, but mama, don't do too much. Yeah, especially mama, I don't really know you like that, so yeah. But anyway, the girls get ready, and Phaedra, Kay, Portia, and Angela are going to ride horses. Well, look at horses, because they ain't ride none of them. And Pinky, Shamia, Drew, Cynthia, and Kelly are going to cattle ride. Cows. Or, yeah, was it a cow? Yeah, it was cows. I can't remember, but yeah, it was cows. So, why does Angela always miss the memo when it comes to dressing? Because these girls are finna go look at some horses or go horse riding, and girl, you come out in a whole dress skirt type thing that's short. Why is my light going out? Who told you to do that? Who told you to do that? Who told you to do that? Nobody. Oh Lord, excuse me, y'all. This light wanna echo. There we go. Light, who told you to do that? Uh-oh. Did it go out all the way? Hold on, y'all. My light is going out. What the real? Excuse me, y'all. There we go. Devil, you won't stop this over here. Not today, you won't. There we go. All right. So, Ansel always misses the memo when it comes to dressing. Like, these girls going to look at horses and ride horses and stuff. You come out with a whole dress and skirt combo and heels. I'm like, does she do that on purpose? Because I feel like she do it on purpose now. Because, like, this is the second time the Ansel done came out in the wrong attire for something they finna go to. But whatever. Once the girls get into their separate buses, sprinting or whatever, Shamia and Kelly are still dragging this house issue. And apparently the room that Shamia and Kelly, or the house they were in, the room still not clean. And 50 Cent is finna get activated because 50 Cent was like, well, I called the people to come clean the room. What else do you want me to do about it? Now, what else is going on? If you know, you know. She was like, y'all making a bigger issue than what it is at this point because, like, I called people to come clean the room. They're coming. But what else do you want me to do at this point? Like, they're making it more than what it needs to be at this point. Like, if I'm hosting a trip and we in like a whatever, and anybody got a problem with like their room accommodations or something like that, and the room is not clean, only thing I can do as a host is call the people to come and clean the room. I can't do nothing. I can't clean the room myself, or if I can, I would. But only thing I can do is call the people to come and clean the room, and they'll come when they come. And then on Shamia and Kelly, what y'all could do is y'all could go over to Pinky's house and get ready, or do what y'all need to do, and then just get ready there. Simple. But y'all still complaining about it instead of just having a good time. Like I said, I cannot stand people that go on trips and just drag stuff for no reason instead of just having a good time. Like the girl said that she was going to call the people to come clean the room. So it's going to get done. But don't just continue to complain about it the whole time. Because like Cynthia said, you can leave if you don't want to be here. And that's what I would have told them. I said, okay, I called the people to come clean the room, but if you don't want to be here, you can leave. And it's just simple as that. It's just simple as that. But Kelly is aggravating still. Drew called Kelly misproportion, which had me laughing. They asked Drew about Black, because I guess Black supposed to be coming to Dallas to meet them or something. And she said something about, she's still saying Black, her friend, she liked Black, she loved it. It was like, oh, not love. Drew. But like I said, Drew being smart about that Black issue, y'all. Drew being smart about that because remember, of her husband is Ralph, and he's very petty and very nasty. And if he knew that she was in a relationship with another man, he'll try to bring it up in court or something, or do something, especially if y'all been seeing what's been going on with them on social media. Stuff like that. Kay throwing shade at Drew in her confessionals about her husband and things like that. I just feel like Pinky is a mean girl. I don't know, it's just something about Pinky's. I understand that she's a boss. She's a CEO of a $1 million company, multi-million-dollar company. But I feel like you have to know when to switch that off. When you get around certain type of people, when you get in certain groups, when you're trying to socialize with people, you don't have to be a CEO of a company everywhere you go, especially when you're in those a group of friends when y'all socializing and having a good time. And I feel like she's carrying that energy from when from her being a boss CEO where her husband run all these men and then with this group of girls. Yeah, because it's just, I don't know. I don't see Pinky doing well throughout the season. And like I told y'all, and like I keep saying from a source of mine, that Pinky is going to be very much not in a good place with the rest of the girls by the end of the season, and that's not going to be good for her by the end of the show. Because if you can't be on a show like this and get along with at least half of the people on the show, then they're not going to bring you back. Because you can't film with half of the girls on the show, then you won't be likely to come back. So, the girls get to their both activity where their activity that they get into, and they were checking me out from the get go, especially Portia them when they got to the horses, and they was like, when the horse started doing what he was doing, and they started running, and Phaedra fell to the ground, I hollered, cause we don't play around with horses, but for Phaedra to be such a professional, here go this light again. Here go this light again. It must be dying. But for Phaedra to be such a professional, she acted like she was just so scared of the horse. Like, Phaedra, why are you so scared of the horse? Something going on with this light. Okay, we're gonna take it what it is. As long as y'all can still see me. Yeah, but for Phaedra to be such a professional in the horsing thing, she was acting like she was just so scared of horse and everything. And when they asked them, like, who's gonna ride a horse, everybody was looking like, not gonna do it. Kay was like, my wig is too big. Faye was like, I'm not that adhesive. I guess she talking about her wig. Portia was like, she ain't got on the right attire. Angela showed it have on the right, attire. And that cracked me up. Now over there with the other ladies, when they was riding, when they was doing that cattle riding, Pinky starting to piss me off with this vegan stuff. Like, I don't have nothing to do. I don't have nothing against people that are vegan. But girl, you can't do nothing because you vegan. You can't even get on the cattle because you can't even get on the thing because you vegan. Oh, I can't do that because I'm vegan. Oh, I can't do that because I'm vegan. Oh, I can't do this because I'm vegan. I'm like, Pinky, you just should have stayed home. You just should have stayed home. Because you sucking the life out of this trip. You really is. Drew and Shamia found out that they both have O blood type. Okay. We really don't care. Really don't care. Pinky says that Angela is beneath her tax bracket. Ooh. Kelly once again is still a confessional gangster. That's not going to change, because she has very much. Well, she kind of said a little stuff to Portia this week on her face, but she still says stuff behind the people's back that she won't say in their face. Cynthia basically told Pinky when they was eating at the table, and of course they got to the restaurant, and Pinky couldn't eat nothing because it was all meat. I'm like, you could find something on that menu that was well. I mean, she did find some French fries, but she didn't end up finding I guess she couldn't find nothing else that wasn't vegan. I'm like, okay, Pinky girl. Cynthia basically told Pinky that you basically get the same energy that you put out. Because she told Pinky that if you come into a conversation with these group of ladies and you come in being very defensive, being very aggressive, then you're gonna be met with that same energy. And Pinky feels as though that's just the way she is. She's very strong, she's very bold, she's very assertive. She doesn't hide behind that. And I thought that's fine to be you. It's fine to be you, but you can't be like that all the time. Like, you can't be like that all the time. You have to learn when to turn some of that stuff out. To have a civil conversation with somebody. Especially when it's not like that deep. When it's a conversation that can be like civil sometimes. You know? That's it. When they got back to the house, and Drew was in Cynthia's room impersonating Shamia, that was so funny. That was so funny to me because that's exactly what Shamia is. Corny as hell. Always talking about, always twerking, always doing the freaking most. Once again, Pinky and Kelly still throwing shade, but Angela is going to eat them both alive behind the scenes and everything, because Pinky and Kelly was like saying that how they are both self-made, and they were basically throwing shade to Angela, saying how they was so self-made and all this and that, and they worked hard for their money and they didn't have to lay on their bag to get their money like Angela did. And Angela responded to them on Twitter, but she's gonna eat them alive, you know, when it comes to like later on and at the reunion, cause like you saying somebody lay on their back to get their money, and I don't even think that was a fact. That was probably just an assumption. Yeah. So at this point, all the ladies, they get ready to go to dinner that night, and Angela did what she needed to do in this scene, in this last scene when they got in this van, and Cynthia started asking the ladies to to say one thing that they learned about another lady that they thought was nice, or thought was good or whatever. And I think Kay said something about she found out that Phaedra was actually a nice person. Shamia said something to K. Michelle about something that they connected on, I think the night before. And then, I think Angela said something about the grand opening that Kelly had, and then she asked her about who all was there. And then Kelly was like, you know who I was there, who I wasn't there. And she was like, it was a nice event, all this and that, whoop. But Kelly was ready for this moment that she had with Portia. She was ready for this moment. She felt as though the flowers that Portia sent to the event wasn't enough. She felt like that the group of ladies' support is showing up, like actually showing up in person and not just sending flowers. But Portia said that at that time they had just had the conversation and they're not in a good place, so she felt like her presence was needed. Her presence was not needed. That's why she sent flowers. And they just started going back and forth. They continued to go back and forth about the married man situation. And Portia continued to give out details about that and Wood and this and this. And then Kelly said something about Portia sleeping with R. Kelly, which people saying that that's old news, because Portia wrote about that in her book. So Kelly really didn't give us new information on that. Now, what was new information was when Portia said that Kelly tried to her. My God, today. And Kelly said something about she wouldn't want to not with that Frito Lay chili cheese something that she had. I'm like, oh, that was kind of that went all that funny. Kelly is really lame to me. I'm sorry. Kelly is so lame to me. I hope she don't come back next season. I'm so sorry. Kelly is so lame to me. I hope she don't come back next season because her time is up. But the end on that, it ended. The episode ended with that moment, and it was just like boom. But Portia was like, when it came to the whole R. Kelly thing, she was like, well, thank you for reading my book, because she did write about her experience with R. Kelly in her book. So she was like, thank you for reading my book and thank you for the sale. So, I mean, she didn't deny it. She just said that, you know, thank you for reading my book, you know, because it was in her book that she wrote. Honestly, when you are a celebrity like that, you have to. When you have those stuff like when you have things like that you know people are going to put out about you. That's the best way to do it. Is put it in a book. Put it in a book people can buy and read about it, because they can't say you didn't put it out there. You always say read my book, or read this, or read that, because it's gonna be out there somewhere. But overall, this episode was, I give it an 8. The good moments, it wasn't good moments. I guess the last scene with them in the sprinter was a big blow up moment. I did laugh a little bit when they was when Portia them was at their thing, doing their activity. It was some little light-hearted moments throughout the episode. But I'm just waiting to see how we're going to continue to go throughout the season. And that's about it. So yeah. So I'm going to wrap this up for tonight. That's all I have. Next week the girls are going to, I guess, end their Dallas trip. I gotta figure out what's going on with this light. But next week, the girls are going to end their Dallas trip probably on the bang, because it's going to be a continuation of Portia and Kelly. But I'm just really done with Portia and Kelly. And I just wish Shamia would speak up and let Portia know what she really want to say, because that's all you really doing. That's all you really, that really need to be said. But we don't need another season of Shamia and Portia going at it back and forth. But it is gonna come to a point that is gonna come to at the end of the season. So let's just get ready for that. Okay? Okay. All right. Well, if you're watching this here, tell the people that they can also catch this on my YouTube channel either later tonight or first thing sometime tomorrow. Until then, thank you all for watching, and the ones that have tuned in, the one that will be tuning in on my YouTube channel later tonight or tomorrow whenever I upload it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I always say, feel free to send me things that you would like for me to talk about or to discuss. Feel free. And chime in with me every Monday right here. Okay? Okay? All right. I hope you guys have a great night and a good rest of the week. And I'll see you guys later. Okay? All right. Bye. Goodbye.